Pork and honey are such a natural fit. So what I'm going to do today is a delicious pork loin for you that has a honey and garlic and a little bit of apple in a sauce. It's wonderful. So the first thing we want to do is just trim off that fat cap a little bit. When you do a pork tenderloin or a pork loin, you don't necessarily have to have that fat cap. You're not slow roasting it, and the fat doesn't have to continue to go down through the meat. So I usually try to trim off a lot of that. It also allows me to remove the silver skin that's right beneath. So let's just trim that up. When you're trimming off this fat cap, make sure you have a really nice sharp knife, nice pointy knife, so you can get under that cap and just remove it all. The pork is very slippery and the knife can just slip right out of your hand, so you want to be very, very careful. Now, I've got the silver skin right there and it's coming right out. The silver skin can be very, very tough, and so with any long muscle, you want to make sure you trim that off. Pork loins, beef tenderloin, it's kind of a thin thing that you see, but you don't necessarily think about the fact that it's going to be tough when you bite into it. And you can see that silver skin right there. Let's just lift that with the point of our knife and pull it off. Now, once we have this all trimmed, we're going to put some honey on it, and then we're also going to put on some herbs, salt and pepper, and great flavor. So this is a rub that can be made with or without the herbs. The herb I like to use in this is thyme, but today I'm going to use this actually without thyme because I think it works better with this particular meat. So I have some smoked paprika, about 1.5 tablespoons, and I want to add to that 1 teaspoon of onion powder and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. There we go. Make sure you get it all out of the bowl. So I have my salt and pepper mix, half salt, half pepper. I want to put in about 2 teaspoons all together, mixed. There we go. And I'm just going to mix that up. This is a really nice combination. Now when you put the thyme in it, the flavor just changes ever so slightly. And if you use a lemon thyme, it makes it even different. Now I like to use hot honey. If you've never tried hot honey, this is really a wonderful product. It just is a little spicy, but we're not going to add so much that you really get a lot of spice. I'm going to put on about 2 teaspoons of honey across the top of my pork. There we go. And then I want to just rub it. Now, if you don't have hot honey, that's okay. Just use honey. You can even use maple syrup for this. Just give that nice top a little rub. And then let's top it off with our beautiful rub mixture. It's gonna be so delicious. Now what I wanna do is pop this into a pan, and I'm going to bake it at 350 degrees for 1 hour and 10 minutes, or until the pork is right at 155. I want to remove it when it's not quite to 165, because remember, you'll have residual cooking after you take it out of the oven. And with pork, it's okay to serve it slightly below 165. So let's pop that in the oven, and then I'll be back to show you some great sauce. So let's make this delicious sauce. It has honey, garlic, and apple in it. Really goes well with this pork. So we're gonna start with 1/2 cup of butter in our pan. Let's just turn that heat on so it gets a chance to start to melt. Now while that's melting, I'm going to grate some apple. About 1/2 of an apple. And I like to use something tart for this because I'm using honey and I don't want so much sugar in this. Meat and apples, pork, honey, they just go together so well. And all of these flavors just really enhance the mead. There we go, I think we've got enough. So while this is melting, now I just want to take some garlic, 6 cloves, deliciousness. Let's just put that in that butter as it's melting. And I also, at the same time, want to add my apple. This allows the apple to start to come up to temperature and to sweat out its juice. If you were to measure this, I'd say you have close to a half cup of apple grated, just in case you're a person who likes to measure instead of saying half an apple. So let's give it a stir. We want this over a medium-high to high heat so it has a chance to really cook quickly. Okay, that apple is starting to cook. We don't want crunchy apple in a sauce. We love it when it's in other things, but we don't want crunchy apple in a sauce. You want it to really start to feel like it's almost disintegrating, but at the same time, you want that little bit of peel and just a hint of apple goodness in there so that you can tell that there's apple in the sauce other than just the flavor. So just a little texture, but not too much. Okay, now I'm going to let that sit there for just a minute so things can really start to almost brown, but not quite. I don't want to go for brown on that garlic, but I want to go for a slight turn to golden. Okay, and the apple is starting to get softer. I feel that. I can cut right through the apple. That's what I want. Yep, and I see some golden starting on my garlic. That's perfect. Now at this point, I want to add some rice wine vinegar and some soy sauce. The rice wine vinegar is also going to give this a little tartness, and the soy sauce adds that umami and that salt. Anytime you're cooking and you can get all 5 of your flavors in, salt, sweet, bitter, sour, umami, that will be a really nice, tight recipe. Okay, now let's add that soy. Smells so good. Oh, I love this. Now the apple is starting to actually steam. It's steaming from the rice wine vinegar and it's steaming from the soy sauce. So even though it was sauteing a little bit, now it has the chance to actually steam and get that real cooking going. All right, now let's add a little chicken stock, half cup. Boy, that looks good. And I want to add some water. But as I add water, I want to put in a little cornstarch. So I'm going to take about half cup of water and about 2 teaspoons of cornstarch and put it into my mixture. And I'm keeping a little extra cornstarch just in case it's not thick enough. Always make sure that you stir your cornstarch through your water and keep stirring as you add it because cornstarch separates so quickly. There we go. It smells divine. Now I want to add about a half a cup of honey. So I'm going to take this hot honey and just pour in about a half cup. You don't want this to be too sweet, but you also want enough sweetness that it really gives that body and that feel with the sauce, because too little honey will make the sauce almost runny and it doesn't have a good feel to it or a good flavor to it. Now let's just stir that around. Oh. So as the heat gets to it and it starts to melt, it produces this beautiful golden sauce. And you can see that it's thickening, just like a gravy. If it gets too thick, you can add a little more water. All right, now I'm just going to let that sit on simmer while I slice up my pork, and then we'll pour that mead. So look at that gorgeous pork roast. And then we have this lovely honey, apple, garlicky sauce that just goes so well. Just right down the center. And let's give it a taste with this mead. All right. Oh, it's so tender. It's just beautiful. Really good. And this mead with black currant. Oh, it smells so good. That pairs up so beautifully.